So establishing that central line during your meditation. And that central line is what you keep intact during the rest of class, especially in the standing, weight shifting, moving through space. So we establish it in a simple, safe environment, and then move it into the more challenging environments. Eyes gently open. Slide the hands forward on the knees, drop the head softly round. Reverse that, slide the hands back, elbows back, chest lift a little bit, lift the chin. Do this twice more, make the most out of each round. Round it forward. And then arching. Excuse me. The next time you are arched up and back, so you've done 3 of each, then slide yourself to the middle, settle there, and into rotations. Left hand reaching forward, right hand back, and just turn as if you're trying to see behind you or just seeing to the left, and then reverse that, slide, turn and look, or that was to the right, I'm sorry, and now it's to the left. And then back to center, do that again, turning to your right. And then turning to your left, we'll do 3 of each. After you finish this last one, and you've done 3 to each side, come back to the middle, let your arms hang, soft droop. And up. Loose, almost like you're falling that way. And then softly up. And then you're falling to the right. Controlled fall. Remember to let your head go there. Lance, looked like you were turning your head this way. The head stays centered, and we just drop it to the side. So really, you're not doing anything with the head, and because you're not doing anything, it's tipping gently in the direction that you're falling. Just trying to loosen that up. After you do one more to your second direction, so you're even on each side, come back to the middle. Shoulders, both of them, up. Melt down. Twice more, shoulders up. Softly down. And shoulder blades circles, lean slightly forward, shoulder blades come forward, so you got to concave the chest, and then shrug up with the shoulder blades, back with the shoulder blades. Now you almost like you're cracking a walnut with the shoulder blades behind you, your head and chest slightly lift, and then slide the shoulder blades down and find neutral. So here's that relaxed neutral. We go forward, shoulder blades slide away from the spine, up, back, and down the back. Forward and up, down and back. 2 more. And now we go the other way. Back, up, over the top, down. Back, over the top, and down. 3 more. And finish. Now take left hand to right knee, soft circles, loose arms, loose shoulders, circles, and come to a still point, let the arm hang, and then reverse the circle, go the other way. Loose, loose, relaxed arm. And let it come to stillness, switch sides, loose. Just letting everything hang, letting everything almost be like it's falling. But then once it releases and it's hanging, then you can control it with a different sort of control mechanism, right? With less tension. Switch directions of the circle, other way. And back to center. Bend both elbows, folding, unfolding, folding, unfolding. 2 more, just soft and easy. Letting go of the body. Hold, elbows out, down, in, touching, and then down. Out and up, down, in, touching, down, out and up, down. Just the elbows leading the way. In and down. Now elbows back, pull back, down, forward, forward, and possibly up. This may not feel so good, but ideally you don't let your elbows do this. So Michelle, notice that you're doing this. Yeah. So let's all just hold the elbows where we can and just notice that you can open and close. Open, close. Right, so the elbows are up. Bruce, see if you can get them just a little bit more forward, right? Even if they're just here in front of your chest, hands on your shoulders. Yes, now lift your elbows. Yes, that's it, right there. So from here, wherever you're at, some of you might be up here, some here. Open, close. Open, close. Couple more. So by doing this, we're wringing out and clearing out the upper body tension that many of us walk around with. It makes us top heavy. So we have to wring it out. Last couple, maybe try to get a little higher with those elbows. Open, close, open, close. Last one, open and close. All the way down, hands out in front of you. Just turn your palms down and up. This is just to feel that the forearms, right here, this section of your arm, is two bones that roll over each other. And it's important just to be able to note that they move, and ideally they move very easily, sliding, just sliding around. So that when you're standing, you're not grabbing at that point, you're letting them be loose and free. And then finally the wrists, little circle. So over the top, down under. And switch directions, under and in, over the top. Just loose, loose as can be. And rest your hands. Head and neck, just a few, just to really help us with this top heaviness. Chin down, level, looking forward, up. And then level and down, level and up, all the way, level and down, all the way down, level up, into neutral, middle, right, middle, left, middle, right, middle, left. One more. Loose, relaxed, allows for ease of movement. Back to middle now, just this little ear toward shoulder. Just the skull, just the head and neck. Make sure your chin's not too high up when you do this. Keep your chin downish so that you feel that stretch right along that left side. And then up to middle. Off to the other side. So look forward, Michelle. Michelle, look forward and drop the head to the side. Yeah, right? So that just gets a very pure stretch there rather than you were turning and looking that way, right? And then come back up to middle. And we drop softly back again this way. So you keep looking forward, but you just tilt the skull. Now, when we're in this position, chin down a little extra, but stay on the side there. Chin back to level and chin up a little extra while you're turning to the side. So you see what I'm doing here. I'm over here, and then I'm doing this little tilt of my head, and that changes how I'm feeling the stretch on the left side of the neck. Then we bring the head back to the middle, bring the head up to center, softly off to the other side. And then as you stay there, you go chin a little forward and down, chin, back. Chin towards the collarbone, chin away from the collarbone, chin even further away. And finishing back to middle. Great job. Rub your hands together. Take your hands on your neck and just massage the neck a little bit. A couple techniques. You can, of course, freestyle massage, or you do this technique here, going from bottom neck up to base of skull, sweeping. And then hold the hand against the base of skull, go to the side of the neck, base of the neck, back of the neck, and then switch, side, base of neck, back of neck. And then right up in this little nook here in the base of the skull, we take our thumbs and we get right in there and we just do some light sort of massage right along this ridge line of the skull and neck. It's very important because when we are walking correctly, we'll be doing this little move here with the chin and skull. And it's almost like that move holds our spine like a pearl necklace And then we can move that around through space. But then often this is where we're at with our neck. So feel that gesture right now as you use your hands to help you open that space, right? Thumbs. And so if you're sitting at the desk or computer or whatever, and you're feeling a little achy, just take a couple minutes and give yourself this neck and skull massage, right? And then let's come around and do chin up and just run along the front of the neck and throat. So we want to make sure the skull and neck are not glued together in an unhealthy way, but we want the head to feel liberated and free, right? Okay, now let's just get down to our legs, warm them up before we stand up. So a little scoot back on your chair till you feel a little more stable. Now, body weight shift to your right butt cheek. Feel your left butt cheek get a little lighter. Body weight shift to your other butt cheek. Body weight shift to your other butt cheek. Now for this one, try not to teeter-totter the head. So you notice when I go over here, I'm not doing this with my body. I'm actually keeping my center and then shifting over and keeping my center. So my head almost stays in the exact same place, more or less, within a couple inches. Now, the next time you're over in this right butt cheek, stay there and lift this left leg. Set the left foot down, shift, right butt cheek, and lift the, left butt cheek, lift the right leg. Set it down, shift, lift, down, shift, lift, down. Now, shift and lift, push out, and bring back 3 times. 1, 2, 3. And down. Shift, lift. 1, 2, 3. Let's do one more set of 3 on each side. Shift, lift. 1, push, reload. Push, reload. This time, push and hold, foot and ankle, point, flex. Invert, evert. That little in and out. And then finally, circles. Switch, circle. And back down, switch sides. One more set of 3. 1, 2, 3. Hold, foot, point, flex. Invert, evert. Circle. Other direction, circle. And done. Scoot to the front edge of your chair again. Now for our swivel, our leg swivels, watch what I do here. So legs close together, touching. Now the heels go out. See what I did right there, right? So let's just do that a couple of times. So the knees are sort of staying together. Now the heels come back to each other. Legs are sealed together. Then the heels come off the ground and you swivel on the balls of the feet or the toes. Heels push out. Twice more, in. Swivel. In. Now, as the heels go out, stay out. Now we lift the toes up and we open. Lift the toes up, close back to this position here. Open. Close. Open. Close. Open. Close. One more. and come back to neutral. That's about our perfect neutral position there. Hinging at the hips, fold. Get a nice deep crease there at the hips. And rise back up. 4 more. Get a nice deep pinch, right? You're hinging so that this hip crease area is really pinching. And then sit up. But now add to this unpinching, right? This leaning back. So that spot that was pinching the hip crease is now wide open. And then here you're at about a 90 degree. And then here you deepen that crease so that it's cinching closed, pinching closed, the hip crease. And then rising, leaning from the hips. So that's the moving part, the hips. One more. So you have to have command over the hips. If you don't, there's so many problems that come from that. Just the inability to know what a hip hinge is, what a hip crease is, right? Now, just to give us a little more room and space in our bodies, let's take our feet wide, same hip hinge, right? But now take your hands like so, little dragon position here, and hinge and bring your torso down between the legs, down between your elbows, between your arms, and then rise back up. And now lean back, tip back, tip back, and tip up, tip forward, bowing. The dragon bows. Leaning back, so you come up, then you lean back. So we really want to feel this in Tai Chi. They call this area the qua, this groin hip area, and it has to be open and movable. This is where the power is generated in martial arts strikes and movements, is the freedom of the belly, lumbar, spine, and qua, all right? So that's what we're doing this for. Now, the dragon stirs the sea with its tail. So we lean back. You can watch me do it once if this is your first time seeing it. Some of you know what it is. First time doing it in this class. So lean to that right buttock. Take the chest towards this right knee. Then down, under, and through, sweeping through. And now we're over on the left side, and then we lean back along the left side, come around the back side of that circle. And now, again, move from the qua, move from the hips. Eventually, you can do this in such a way that your whole body's relaxed and you are getting this lovely movement of every vertebra, this lovely circular rolling of every joint. Now let's switch directions. Bowing, sweeping under. So think of this like you're in a brambly forest that is your brain-body connections, right? The nervous system and connections to the body. And what we're doing is we're blazing trails. We're carving pathways. We're creating more room and space to inhabit this body by making these big round gestures. So that now we come back to middle, bring the legs all the way back to middle, and we're sitting in the same position that we started class, but we've pushed back this encroaching truncation of what's happening to everyone as we age, and especially with folks with nervous system issues, right? That move less and less over time. Truncate, truncate, narrow, narrow, narrow. And that's how we start to feel. So these big movements push that back. And we have to keep that back so that we have space, right? And Tai Chi is the best at that of all the exercises that I have looked at. All right, standing up, sitting down. So slide those feet back. Arms hang. Now we can go the hard way or the easy way to get to standing. Let's try the easy way. You just fold. Once you get yourself hinged like this, then put a little bit of effort to get the head forward of the toes, and then push through the earth. Rise up. Notice, is there any tension in your body that you can just drop? Arms, let them hang. So if you're holding your body, you're holding your hands, let them go. And note that you don't fall into a puddle. Push your butt back. Just softly let the knees bend as you sink your butt towards the chair. Find the chair with your tush. Sit back upright. Let's do that a few times. Fold at the hips. A little bit of effort to go forward. And then push down through the earth to rise. Remember, Bruce, the effort will always be just that little extra bit forward, 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 right? Because this attempt to go up is what gets in the way, but forward will get you there. Forward, here, and then up. So take that about 3-4 more times at your own pace. Those of you, if getting up and down from the chair is a problem, it would be good if you had something in front of you. Arrange yourself near a table or another chair even, that you could actually go out and put your hands on or near to help you get this going, right? Because it's scary at first, right? Right? It's scary to go this way because we think we're going to fall on our face. So then we just try to do this, right? Instead of this and then this. And it's a matter of an inch or two of space. All right. Once you're standing, stay standing. Let's do a couple of just basic squats. Butt goes back. Just sink. Let your arms dangle, released. And then back up. It's an incredibly practical move because if I drop my glasses or a pen, I need to go down and get it. This is the key. Here, here, grab my pen or grab my glasses, right? And how do you get up? You don't force yourself up with a bunch of tension in here. Keep yourself totally relaxed. And it's all in this region. The quad, the hips, and the back is the powerhouse for getting you down there, getting you back up. No major effort required. Now, stay standing. Let's do our Tai Chi Squats. Lock your knees back. This is the wrong way to stand, but it's helpful to do it wrong. So push back through the knees. Notice you get this sort of sturdiness there, but it's brittle. And then notice that your butt kind of lifts up a little. Now, soften the knees and let the tail sink down towards the earth, right? And notice down, 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 not that, down, right? Do that again. Lock your knees, sink. So that's a Tai Chi squat. It's just getting the ability to notice when you're standing in line at the supermarket or doing dishes and you go, oh, I'm locked out. Let me sink just a touch. Knees are now open and my legs are slightly spring loaded. One more. Slight little sink. Now, with Tai Chi, we want to stay in this slightly sunk position. And now we shift over to right leg. Shift over to left leg. Shift from your middle rather than being top heavy and tipping yourself over there and tipping yourself over there. Not that at all. Instead, this all stays completely intact and we just shift the belly over here. Shift it over here. Right? Arms totally relaxed. Now you'll have to get to where your chair is available for you. So walk around to the back of the chair, use the chair to get you there safely. All right. Now our walking exercises here. Okay, so we've got the chair on one side, you've got your outside leg and your inside leg, the leg closer to the chair. Shift your weight to your inside leg and free that outside leg. So softly swinging it. Then when you swing it back one time, stay back, bend the knee, bring the knee forward and extend the foot out. Swing it back, bring the foot up over the top and out. Again, blazing pathways of movement, freedom in this leg. Switch directions with the leg goes forward, up, and back. Forward, up, tuck, and reach back. Now we switch sides. Watch what I do here. Hook step. So I take, instead of stepping straight across, I turn my toes towards the chair. Turn this foot out to face the other way. And then I turn my body to face. And then we need to back up a little bit. So use your chair to get you there safely. Empty the outside leg and swing it. Loose. Now the wheel of the leg. So the foot goes back, bend the knee, the foot comes up, forward, sweep it. Sweep it. Other direction, foot goes forward, comes up and reaches back. Forward, up, tuck, reach back. And once more, hook step. Turn and face the chair, turn the other foot out, and then turn and face the other way completely. Back up a little bit. All right, now we're on to our first sort of walking exercise. Now the inside leg, the one closest to the chair, put it out in front, empty, with the heel touching the ground. Let your body weight then shift into that front leg like you're gonna take a step there. Back foot empties, get to the tip of the toes. Then reverse that. Back into your back foot. Front foot empties, you're on the tip of the heel. Shift, tip of the toes. Shift, tip of the heel. So those of you that have been doing this for a while, this is the first spot that you would start challenging yourself, no hands. Some of you, that doesn't feel safe, please don't do it. This is level 1 because we're keeping our feet always both touching the ground, which gives us psychological stability. When you start feeling comfortable enough, we go to level 2, your choice when that time is. Lift the front foot, lower the front foot, shift into it. Lift the back foot, lower the back foot, shift back. So this is where you might want to put your hand on the chair again, or this is where you then take that next step and say, okay, I'm going to try no hands, and just always be on the lookout for the body tensing up, because that is a sneaky aspect of this, because we do it because we think it's going to help, and in some ways it helps. In some ways it holds us where we are. But on a longer time scale, all it does is keep us from actually building the rooted strength through the legs. So there has to be the verticality, there has to be the allowing of the body weight to get through the ground. Let's go to level 3 if it's available to you. This is where you probably need your hand on the chair. Not just lift, but also completely chamber. So the leg comes all the way up like this, and then you release it softly down to the heel, shift. Now this back foot, the heel comes up, and we bring that knee forward and up, like we're gonna maybe step up a really high stair. And then we reverse, reach it behind, no weight, but touch the toe, shift back. Front foot is empty. Lift, chamber, softly down, shift. Back foot, lift and bring knee forward and up, chamber. Reach it back, shift back. Continue, 3 more at level 3. Always picture that espresso cup filled to the brim, just softly resting on top of your head. One more. And step that foot back. Now we do a forward step, hook step, turn, parallel, right? And then we step backwards. Give ourselves some room. Bring that inside foot, so it should be the other foot now. Shift, level 1, shift forward, shift back. Maybe hand on chair, maybe someday no hand on chair. And just be on the lookout for that body tension that usually crops up. And it sort of helps in the short run, but in the long run, it creates a limit to how much we actually cultivate feeling at ease, moving through space. Espresso cup resting on top of the head. Looks good, everyone. Level 2, where you disconnect that front foot, reconnect it softly, shift. Then once the back foot's empty, disconnect, reconnect, shift. Lift, lower, shift. Lift, lower, shift. Continue, level 2, hand on chair or not. You're always playing with when is it time for you to start working with relaxed arms. You're truly putting the work into the legs. Let's go to level 3 if you'd like to. Hand on chair perhaps. All the way up. Softly release. Shift. Heel comes up and knee comes forward. Reach the foot back with no body weight. Shift back. Full chamber. Down. Shift. Chamber. Reach back. Shift. Chamber. Down. Shift. 2 more after this one. How's that espresso cup doing? And is there any grabbing, holding, gripping, tension, shoulders, chest, back, that you're subconsciously engaging, that you can just relax? And notice when you let go there, it goes more down and through. Eventually, this state of throughness is what allows you to feel free. Let's go ahead and bring that foot back. So let's do the little bagua step. It's step forward 1, hook step and turn. So step, hook, turn, and step backwards to give yourself some room. And step even further back from the chair. So it's like I have mine here. You see how I have to reach to touch it? Then that inside foot, again, heel softly touching. So everything's the same here. Shift, back foot is empty. Now this is where it changes. We let that foot swing through, the heel touch, we shift, and then we pause here. Then we shift back Wait until the front foot's empty, then let it swing back to touch the toe. Shift back. Now it's back to the beginning. Do it again. Shift forward. Back foot is empty, swing it. Shift forward. Shift back. Wait for the front foot to be empty, swing it. Back. Get this flow down, maybe even not using the chair. Swing. So this is the most like regular chill walking, just easy. You're just shifting, so you empty the foot, you step the empty foot, then you shift into that foot. Then we come back, shift back, empty that front foot, swing it back, shift back. One more, level 1. And this is target practice. The ball of the foot is where you want to connect to the ground. Let's go to level 2. Might need the chair here. Lift, lower, shift. Now, the back foot comes up over a small obstacle and sets down. Shift. Back foot lifts and lowers, and then we're shifting back. Now the front foot has to go up, tuck, and reach back. And then we shift back. Front foot has to lift, lower, shift. Small obstacle, up and over it. Shift. Back foot lifts, lowers. Then we go shift back. Small obstacle, up, tuck, reach. Shift back. Lift, lower. Again, small obstacle. Lift back foot. Shift back, small obstacle. Shift back. One more, level 2. Now, level 3, chamber. Again, hand on chair as needed. Down. Shift. Back foot, heel to butt, knee all the way up. Foot out as it comes down. So it's this exaggerated movement. Shift. Heel up, knee up. So this is the end of the front. Now we go back. That foot reaches back. Shift back. Front foot lifts, tucks, reaches. Remember that idea of the blazing of trails. So that's why these movements, exaggerated as they are important. So again, I am not suggesting you walk through the grocery store like this, right? But in your Tai Chi practice, your wellness practice, this is a very wonderful thing to do, this sort of stork walk or crane walk, because it makes your body and brain feel like they understand the range of which they can, within which they can move. And so then when you're in the supermarket walking nice and easy, that'll feel really easy because you're able to do this kind of walk, right? Instead of just all the time, it's this, and it truncates and truncates and truncates until this is all we can do, right? So freeing up that space. Switch sides. Step, hook step, turn. Step back and give yourself that space. Inside foot, the one closer to the chair. Level 1, this is the most like supermarket walking, right? Easy peasy. Feel the differentiation. Inside leg is the full leg. Outside leg is the full leg. Inside, outside. The better you get at one, then the other, not both, because that's where most people are with their walking. Both legs are stiff, and then they walk around like they're on stilts, right? Clop, 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 clop. Instead of empty a leg, step, empty a leg. Level 2, lift, lower, shift. Small obstacle, shift. Lift back foot, lower back foot, shift. Small obstacle, shift. Lift, lower, shift. Small obstacle, shift. Lift, lower, shift. Level 3. Two more with level 3. And pause. Now, get to where you have a little bit of room. We're going to do this qigong called the wind sways the willow, something like that. So there's two moves actually. Wind sweeps the willow, wind sways the willow. So now, put your weight into your, let's say your right leg, and empty your left. Left arm swings back a little behind you, right arm a little bit in front. Now, as you shift your weight into your left leg, swing left arm down to come forward, the right arm down to come back, and empty this right leg. And then shift and change. Shift and change. So the arm that's forward, that's where the weight should be. And then change. 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 Big swing of the arms. Change. Change. And what you want to feel here is the down quality. And then you might, let's even add a little bit of like a lift here, sort of like a rise, so that you can go down. Feel the downishness to a soft rise. Doesn't have to be much of a rise, but we want to get the feeling of down. Down. Down through to the earth, bouncing up from the earth. Down through to the earth, bouncing softly up. Shoom. 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 And notice you're not going anywhere. You're just right in place. Your center or your middle is a stable pivot. But around that pivot, there's some twisting happening. There's some swinging of these limbs. And that's, again, the sensation over time of the freedom in the body is that we have this stable pivot and then these loose, free octopus limbs. Shoom. Now, speed is not your friend, right? Swift is okay, but speed becomes, so watch here as I go here, there's a turnaround. That. We talked about that in the Tai Chi class on Friday. This moment here, that change. Whereas if I go too fast, it starts to look like this. Do you see any change? Do you see any turnaround, right? I'm skipping that. Up, there's that hover. Up. So even if I speed it up, there's still that. So don't let it become mindless. Shoom, shoom, shoom. Great job. And back to middle. And then the other one to help us really free up, turn and, well, first just do this with your arms. So you see that the arms can do that. Back of hand smack in the body, palm smack in the body, smack, smack, smack. Now let them swing and turn gently from the pelvis, the hips, the quad, and the belly, and let the arms smack the body. So let the arms finish, finish, finish. And just feel that soft rotation that you're getting. Ankles, shins, knees, hips, lumbar spine, thoracic spine, shoulders. And softly back to the middle. Loose, very, very loose. Let's do our side steps. Okay, so you may need your chair. So your chair would be in front of you. I'm facing this way so I can see you guys. Empty your inside leg. Step it out. Shift. Outside leg or right leg is empty. Bring it in. Shift. Out. Shift. In. Shift. Side step, cruising along. Switch directions. Slow is your friend. Why? Because going fast, you're skipping. You're skipping this moment. And then this moment. And then this moment without putting any weight in the leg. And then this moment where I'm now putting the weight in the leg. And then this moment where I'm stepping without any weight. And then this moment where I'm choosing to let the weight go through that leg. This, I step, change, step, change, step, change. That way. Last person there wins. If you're the first person there, slow it down. Because again, the faster you go, the less detail you're able to pay attention to. Other way, one more time. And it really is all about detail. The brain, nervous system, reaching out, understanding proprioception, where you are in space, and interoception, the relationship of all the internal mechanisms to each other. Right? We have to cultivate that. And finished. Rotational steps. We're going to do them slightly different today. So we're just going to do one turn and then one turn back. So right foot turns out, shift and turn. And then left foot turns out, shift and turn. Right foot turns out, shift and turn. Left foot turns out, shift and turn. Right.
Sometimes the teacher, the Tai Chi teacher, the woman who cleans his house is walking, cleaning.
Nancy, I can hear you there. I'm gonna
Oh,
mute.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry. Let's see.
All right. So right foot, shift and turn. Then left foot turns out, shift and turn. Right foot turns out, shift and turn. left foot turns out. Shift and turn. All right, good job. Now we're going to do our Tai Chi shift forward and back. So watch me here. Make sure you have a little room, chair out of the way a little bit. So now empty your left foot, turn that left foot out 5, 10, maybe 15 degrees. Shift your weight into that leg. So now that's holding the body weight. And then step your right foot just a little bit in front of you there. Now shift towards that front leg, but keep your back foot to the ground more or less. And navel, belly button, point straight ahead. Ish. Shift back into your back leg, emptying your front leg. Feel it empty. And then shift. And then back. And then shift. Back. Now I'm going to add a bit of this is new for everybody here. So watch what I do. So stay in your front leg for a moment. Just watch what I do. I shift to my back leg, lift the toes up and turn them out. Turn the body out and turn the toes out. All right, so do that with me. So we're going back, empty, and turn out. Let's do that a couple of times. So turn the toes to point forward, shift into that front leg 70% or so. Then you shift back and lift the toes and turn out. And toes turn forward, shift. Shift back, turn toes out. Now with these toes turned out, just this foot should be empty, bring it back. Shift onto it, step your left foot forward with the toes pointing straight ahead. Shift into your left leg, turn the belly button to point towards the camera or the front, and now just shift back and forth with the belly button pointing straight ahead-ish. If the knees hurt with this, it might be your foot's too turned out or your stance is too big. So you just adjust it so that the knees feel fine. And you're able to just go back leg, front leg, back leg, front leg. Now let's do that thing we just added where we go back leg, empty front foot, lift the toes up and turn, externally rotate the leg and the belly kind of turns that way, right? So there's this little turn. Bring it back, pointing toes forward, shift into the front leg. So eventually this movement is all one movement, this shift back and lift toes and turn out, right? In a sort of martial art sense, it's sending something that way, right? Oncoming traffic, and we're bringing back and neutralizing it that way. So turn the toes forward again, shift. So oncoming traffic comes in and we turn and just spill it over that way, right? One more. Shift back, turn out. The belly button is facing a little this way. You might find that's already happening. Step that right foot a little bit forward, toes pointing forward. Now, as you shift into that front leg, turn the belly button to point towards the camera. Let's sit back into that back leg. Once again, turn your belly button to point slightly to the left corner. And now we're shifting towards the front leg and turning the belly button. Those of you who take the Friday Tai Chi class, you might recognize what we're doing here from when we're doing this type of Tai Chi and we're turning, right? Now we're doing that, except at this interesting angle of shift and turn while advancing towards that front leg. Sit back and turn the belly button slightly off. Shift and turn the belly button, point forward. Now let's do the little additional thing we did. Sitting back, lift the toes of the front foot and turn the belly button and toes out that way. So now your belly button's pointing to this corner over here. Bring that foot back, shift. Belly button stays pointing over here as you step. Now we're ready to do it on this side. Shift into the front leg, turn the belly button, point it towards the camera. Sit back. And you might do what I'm doing if it's helpful. Grab your belly, point your fingers, right? Anything that helps you understand this middle is key. Turning it to face that corner. It stays facing that corner as we shift to the front leg and then turn. And then we sit back and turn. Shift forward and turn. Eventually the shift and the turn are one. Shift back, turn. Shift forward, turn. Eventually it just blends into one gesture, one sort of centrifugal rotational gesture. Right? Now we do the transition. Shift, turn. Now as you sit back, you turn the navel and toes to left. Little turn out. Bring that foot back, keeping the toes turned out. Shift. The belly can turn even more that way. Step. And we're ready to shift, turn. Sit back, turn. Shift, turn. Sit back, turn. Shift, turn. Back, turn. Don't look now, we're doing Tai Chi. Brush knee and push. Brush knee and push. Brush knee and push. Now, sit back, lift the front toes and turn open to that other corner. Bring that foot back. As you change the weight, left hand down, right hand up, step. Shift, turn, brush knee and push. The hands go through the exchange that we learned in the Friday class. Shift, turn, brush knee and push. Hands exchange. Shift, turn, brush knee, push. And shift, turning back, brush knee, push. And hands go through the exchange. Shift, turn, brush knee, push. Hands go through the exchange while you're still in the front leg, and then shift, turn, brush knee, push. One more. Transition. So we sit back and turn out to that corner. Bring the foot back. As you change your weight into that left leg, the hands change. Step. Shift, turn, brush knee, push. Let's do the exchange right away. Sit back and turn the belly out to the right. Step back. As you change the weight to that right leg, the hands, one up, one down, step. Shift, turn, brush knee, push. Sit back as you turn out, bring the foot back, hands change. So you might recognize that all these parts by themselves, you could do some of or all of. But when we start linking them together, it starts to feel a little bit teacup spilling over, right? That's okay. Over time, you'll be able to manage this. And then we can do it and walk through space while doing it, right? But just get the idea in your head. Just keep the eyes open in the sense of just watch. Don't get too discouraged. Just observe. A lot can be learned just through seeing. Like, oh yeah, we were just doing that. If I take away these arms, that's all we're doing. It's just that repeating itself. All right, so those of you that start to get confused, just come back to this position where it's just legs. But those of you that feel like you get how to add the Tai Chi. Add the Tai Chi, the upper body. Last one to each side. One more. Sitting back, stepping parallel. Shogun, rise, roll up and over, settle, 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 settle. Down to the navel. Remember, the key here is that everything's settling, but then once it settles, soften. Roll them like so. Elbows not flared out to the side there, Lance. Let them drop in. Good. There you go. You feel that softness that comes when you're not doing that. There you go. And then seal. One hand over navel, other hand over that hand. And Taoist little bow, making that little yin yang symbol. Thank you. Have a seat in your chair safely. Feel free to chat for a moment, or if you got somewhere to be, you got somewhere to be. You can just wave and move along. So unmute yourself if you have a question.